Hey, super folders, it's me, Tom Angleberger. Uh, I'm actually not at home today. I'm in Roanoke, Virginia. You may remember that Roanoke, Virginia is just down the road from the Macquarie Middle School. Macquarie Middle School is, let's see, from here it would be, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 miles that way. Not sure exactly. It take me about 20 minutes to drive there from here, probably. But anyway, I'm here in Roanoke right now, and I thought this would be a good time to do Talk to Tom. And so here we go. I got my Talk to Tom questions written down here. Let's see who wrote in. Let's see what we got here. By the way, it's been a while since I've done Talk to Tom, and the reason for that is that the Super Folder Con was so much fun, and I answered a bunch of questions then. And there are more questions, though, out there. Let's see what we got. Let's see. The first one is from, I think it's PhinX. Please write more Origami Yoda books. Well, those of you that have tuned in to Talk to Tom before know that this is a frequent question we get here. Boy, I tell you, talking a lot with one of these masks on doesn't work so great. Woo! Man, I got steam going everywhere. Oh, brother. I'm sorry about you guys that have got to wear these to school and stuff. I know it must be driving you crazy, but you got to wear it. It's important. We got to wear these things. But, man, it ain't easy, is it? No, it's not. All right, so PhinX wants me to write more Origami Yoda books. You know what? I can't write more Origami Yoda books. That's not going to happen. But I'll tell you what, it is fun thinking about what those books would be if I did write them. Let's see. I don't have an Origami Yoda with me right now. I do have. This is my car Yoda. He sits on my. He sits in right here on my dashboard. It helps me drive. You know, Yoda is my co-pilot. That kind of thing. Yoda, what do you think? Do you have any ideas for what the next book would be? Of course, right now I think it's pretty clear. The next book would be Origami Baby Yoda, and I don't know. It was just fun to think about where that would go. Somebody would have a Mandalorian at school. Somebody had a Baby Yoda. It's a lot of fun to think about how those things go. And of course, I think a lot about how the Macquarie kids would deal with this whole quarantine business and trying to do school from home. I think some kids would be having a great time doing school from home. And other kids would be starting to get pretty bored out of their minds. And I think Tommy is one of those kids. I think Tommy would be getting pretty bored, and so that would set his mind working, and he'd be trying to put together a new case file to keep himself interested, and he'd probably be trying to figure out some kind of weird thing that was going on. How that would tie in with Baby Yoda, I don't know. That's why I like to get you guys thinking, because I've used up so many of my ideas. You guys have got plenty of ideas. That's why I love it when people send in their ideas for the next Origami Yoda book. So, yeah. PhinX, I can't write more OY, but you can. You can write as much OY as you want. Origami Yoda. Keep it coming. All right, let's see here. Stooky21, or maybe just Stook21, wants to know how to fold Foldy Wan, like in the book. Now, I know we've got Foldy Wan instructions on the site. Those are over, I'm not sure which direction, under the How to Fold page. I know we've got Foldy Wan instructions, but do we have, so it looks exactly like the one in the book? I'm not exactly sure. Man, I can barely, you see how bad I'm fogging up? I can barely see the screen. Okay, so anyway, if you've never seen any Foldy Wan instructions, go to the How to Fold section on one of the sides over here. Or if you're not on my website, go to my website, origamiyoda.com. Go to the How to Fold, and or it may be free origami instructions. There's definitely something on the menu that will lead you to where you can fold Foldy Wan. Okay. And speaking of Foldy Wan, I guess he's popular right at the moment. Everybody's thinking about Foldy Wan. Another super folder named Foldy Wan 4444 says Foldy Wan should have had his own book. Well, now, some of you may not know this, but Foldy Wan was supposed to have his own book. For a long time, I was working on a book that was called Foldy Wan Kenobi. I'm not sure what it was going to be, what the exact title was going to be, but it was going to be Foldy Wan's book. He was going to be the cover star. And in fact, at one point, it actually leaked out onto the internet, and somebody got a hold of it and posted it, and it was a big brouhaha. Of course, it was my fault that the whole thing happened. Anyway, so Foldy Wan, the book, actually got out there, and some people had got to take a look at it. But it didn't happen. Why not? Well, because the story got too big for one book, and it had to be split into two books. And those two books became Jabba and Princess Label Maker. So if you think about it, Jabba and Princess Label Maker are really one book, the Foldy Wan Kenobi book. But they're two books. It gets crazy and confusing. All right. Oh, I dropped my list. Hold on a second here. All right. Should I give you guys a tour of my car? I showed you my Yoda. I've also got Mickey Mouse here. I got Mickey here. I've got some Skittles. What else do I have here? I've got my Chewbacca wallet. I've got let's see, what is this album? I've got Bach to Abbey Road, Bach versions of the Beatles. What else do I have here? Well, anyway, that's enough of junk. I got a lot of junk in here, just like in my desk. It's full of lots of stuff. Let's see what the next question is. Ewok Origami 77 wants to know my favorite Star Wars alien. You know, this changes from time to time. I think right now my favorite Star Wars alien is probably the Ugnaught from The Mandalorian. What's his name? Keel? I can't remember what his name is. You know who I'm talking about. I love that guy. He's awesome. All-time favorites, maybe the Hammerhead. What's his name? Mammon Nadal. Something like that from the Cantina. Of course, love Jabba. Oh, well, man, it's hard to beat Jabba. So, oh man, a lot of great aliens. Tuca cats. I love Tuca cats. You know, the Loth cat is like a type of Tuca cat. So anyway, I love Tuca cats. Boy, look at my hair. Is my hair terrible? I need to take Yoda's advice and become bald again. Oh, brother. Whew, it is so hot in here. Oh my gosh. I'm so hot. But I don't want to roll down the window because then people walking by will hear me answering your questions and they'll think I'm even weirder than they already think. Of course, they're looking in the window and they see a guy playing with a Yoda, so they already think I'm weird. Let's hope they don't call the police on me while we're doing this. Okay, what's next? Doomsday wants to know how to fold K2SO. Now, as you know, I posted a K2SO on the website. I think I did. But now that was not straight up origami. If you're going to make K2SO, you're just probably going to have to give up on making it out of one sheet of paper. That's going to take some crazy origami mastery to ever make them out of one sheet of paper. So just focus on making the head and the torso and then adding the arms as separate pieces of paper. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I just can't believe it would be so difficult to get anything as tall and gangly as K2SO. I do love K2SO. As you know, I put him in my Chewbacca book. All right. Origami Master 53 wants to know if my site is made with WordPress. Yes, it is actually. Webmaster Sam built the original site, and then when it was time to overhaul it, my publisher Abrams hired this great group that made the website that you see now. It's really great, but it is all based on WordPress. Let's see. GrandAdmiral, Superphoto GrandAdmiral wants to know, what's my favorite book by somebody else? Well, I have a lot of those. As you know, I love to read. I often tell people my favorite book is Lizard Music by Daniel Pinkwater, and that is a good book. Very good book. One of my all-time favorite books. But there are some others that I don't talk about as much. For one of them is The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. That's a sword and sorcery fantasy novel, but really stands out. It's really spectacular. Great stuff. The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. Highly recommended. More recently, my favorite book that's come out more recently is probably Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn, if you've read that. Or if you've ever seen it at your library, you should check it out. It's really good. or order it from a bookstore or something. It's worth buying. It's a great book. All right. I think we've answered all of them except for MurkyK wrote in and reminded me that I never explained about Dwight's squirrel power. Man, see, I mentioned on Superfolder at the Superfolder Con, Dwight's squirrel power is based on a real story. Now, a lot of the stories about Dwight, some of them are based on me and stuff I did, but this one was actually based on a kid that I knew. And crazy thing is, I don't exactly remember this kid's name. It might have been Randy. So Randy claimed that he had chipmunk power, and then he could communicate with chipmunks. Okay? So, I don't want to go into all the details just because it's boring and complicated. But anyway, Randy and I ended up getting trapped in this tiny little room. Nobody was around. Nobody would have known where we were. I think somebody might have found us eventually before we died, but we would have been stuck in there for a long time. When I think back on it, it's kind of scary to think we didn't tell anybody really where we were going. We went exploring. We found this little place. We went in. We closed the door. We couldn't get the door open again. Really a bad idea. I mean, we were just kids. I was maybe 12 years old. I was just a kid, and nobody would have known. This is before cell phones. We couldn't have called anybody. I think we would have gotten out before we died, but it was a bad idea. So we're stuck in this tiny little room where we can't get out. We're pushing on the door. We cannot get out. We're like, the door won't budge. We're stuck. Randy says, now Randy's a little younger than me. Randy goes like, don't worry, I will call the chipmunks. It's so crazy to think about it. He actually believed that somehow the chipmunks were going to save us. He's like, I'm going to call the chipmunks with my chipmunk power. I never found out for sure if the chipmunks would have saved us or not, because before too long I realized, oh yeah, you pull the door to open it. So I pulled the door, or he pulled the door. One of us pulled the door, and we just walked out. Safe and sound. No chipmunks. There weren't a bunch of chipmunks outside waiting for us or anything. But that's where the whole story came from. I wanted to use that story, so I'm not sure why I changed it to squirrels, but I'm glad I did because they're fun to draw. I made it about squirrels. I made it about Dwight getting stuck in the room with the PE equipment. And then, of course, the squirrels were so much fun, they kept coming back book after book after book. And now they're, one of the main parts of the Origami Yoda universe are those two crazy squirrels. And it all started with me and, I guess, Randy? I'm still not 100% sure if that was his name. But when we got stuck in this tiny little room, crazy. I really regret going in there. And it is terrifying to think, what if the door had really been stuck? The chipmunks would not have saved us. Probably would not have saved us. That would have been pretty scary. Luckily, it all got taken care of, and I lived to tell the story. And I finally tell the story. You know how they always say you live to tell the story? Well, I'm finally doing it. Oh, man, I love talking to you super folders. I don't know if any of you stuck with me for this whole 15 minutes, but if anybody did make it the whole way through, I really appreciate it. So I had a great time talking to you. I miss you guys. I miss getting to talk to you, like going out on a book tour and getting to meet some of you in person, or going to book festivals and getting to see a bunch of people. I miss that. I miss going to schools. I've met a lot of super folders, but I got to go to their schools. I miss all of that, but got to stay safe. You guys got to stay safe. Got to keep these masks on. Got to do everything we can to stay safe so that we make it through this. It's crazy times. It is crazy times. Yoda, this takes some powerful Yoda wisdom to get through this. And of course, his wisdom is mask you must wear. Must. And everything else too. Just be careful out there. Don't break the rules and think, oh, it probably won't matter. Because it might matter. Guys, I've had a great time talking to you. Keep sending in the cool stuff. That's what keeps me going, is logging in and seeing all the stuff that Webmaster Sam has posted from you guys every single day. It's amazing. Sorry there's a big backlog. Well, sorry there's a big backlog. We're working through it. We'll get there one of these days. All your stuff will hopefully eventually get posted. This mask makes me look a little Darth Vader-like. What do you think? But anyway, I don't know anymore. I don't want to say goodbye. I'm having too much fun talking to you, but you guys are probably all hung up by now, unless you're crazy. So I will see you later. This is Tom Angleberger saying, may the force be with you always.